watching Where Are They Now with your host, Dianne Hart. Now here's Dianne.
Good evening. Welcome to Where Are They Now? Tonight, I have the awesome pleasure of interviewing a photographer, videographer, and a radio personality, Mr. Dahyrl Gooden. How are you tonight?
I'm doing just great.
Wonderful. So let's just jump right in. Let's talk a little bit first about where you're from.
I'm originally from Detroit. I currently reside in Houston, Texas.
Oh, what schools did you attend in Detroit?
Henry Ford High. Bad, brown and gold.
I understand that you're a photographer and you're a videographer. But what got you into the photography world?
I got into photography many years ago when I was around 12 years old. My dad used to have one of those old Instamatic cameras, with a flash cube. He used to take pictures of us, events and things of that nature. That aroused my curiosity. I got his camera and I started taking pictures. I wanted to take it to another level. As I, really got into taking lots of pictures, he bought me a 35 millimeter camera. At that time, I was around 14 or 15. I had learned how to develop film through a friend of mine. He was a photographer. Once I got into the dark room and started to develop my own film, I was hooked. I was like, wow, look, you put it in these chemicals and the picture just pops out. So that point on, I was a photographer.
So it changed your life forever, right?
Yeah, it did.
So you say you were around about 15?
Yeah, I was around 15 years old when I got my first 35 millimeter camera.
That led you to where? What came next?
After I got my first camera, I was a shutterbug. I was taking pictures of landscapes, people, and everything. It was just a whole new world. When I started high school, I started playing football, and I got hurt, and that was it. I was retired from football in high school. I had the camera, and I would go to all of the football games and take pictures of the teams playing. So they made me the team photographer.
Wonderful.
And there I started taking all of the film and the pictures for the football team and just started working with my love, which was the camera. Traded one thing for another.
So you say you began to take pictures of your team. You also started doing video of your team as well?
Yeah, it wasn't video. It was film. It was an actual 16 millimeter camera.
Okay.
I started to film all the games for the team. After a game, they could look back at the film to see how they can improve for the next game. So I was still with the team. One thing just turned to another, just combined both the filmmaking and the photography.
So let me ask you this. So when did it become professional and you got a paycheck for it?
With photography, I started doing weddings, birthday parties and things of that nature. Yeah, I was a hustler. I was making money then, going to clubs. At that time, then I bought a Polaroid camera doing the clubs. I was cleaning up. I was making some good money then.
Take the picture and you can sell it to them right then on the spot.
There you go. That's right.
We're going to take a break and we will be right back.
Did you grow up in an alcoholic or dysfunctional home? Were you abused or suffered childhood trauma at the hands of a parent or caregiver? Have you tried self-help or counseling without success? ACA can help. ACA is a 12-step recovery program for adults whose lives were affected as a result of being raised in an alcoholic or dysfunctional family. To find out how others like you have found healing from traumatic childhoods, go to adultchildren.org. That's adultchildren.org.
Hi, this is Dianne Hart. Be sure to catch my shows, The Opening Statement, as we interview politicians and special guests on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on the Lit TV network on Roku. Also, watch Where Are They Now as I interview entertainers of yesterday and today on Detroit Hot TV at 7:30 p.m. on Facebook. Thank you.
You are watching Where Are They Now with your host, Dianne Hart. Now here's Dianne.
Welcome back to Where Are They Now? I'm your host, Dianne Hart, and my special guest this evening is none other than Mr. Dahyrl Gooden. So, do you still do photography as well?
Yes, I do.
So you added something extra. At what point did you begin to play music and get interested in becoming a radio personality? Did you start as a DJ first?
Yes, I did. I started out as a DJ. My nickname at that time was Dr. G. They used to call me Disco Dr. G because I played all the disco songs. I just kind kind of kept the Dr. G. People ask me, why doctor? Well, my favorite basketball player back in the day was Dr. J.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to emulate him. He was bad. I was bad with the records, and I called myself Dr. G.
So when did you get started on radio stations? I heard your show just this past Sunday.
I attended Specs Howard School of Broadcasting.
Oh, okay.
Specs Howard trained me as a radio professional, as an announcer. At that time, they brought on the video and film production as well. I mastered both of those once I was in school going to Specs. My teacher saw that I really excelled with the video because, I have the eye of the photographer.
Right.
And the other students wanted me to shoot their videos because of my eye. You've got the eye. You know how to shoot and how to do this. So one thing led to another.
And then from the videos to the DJ? Or were you DJing while you were in school too?
Yes, I was.
So you were earning your money while you went to school?
Oh, yeah.
When was the first time that you went live on radio as a broadcaster? You were doing voiceovers or something for the radio stations? Is that what you were doing initially?
Yes, I started doing the voiceovers 3 or 4 years ago. During COVID, I was in the hospital for a while. And at that time, I would play around with the radio with some of the other patients in the rehab room. And whenever a record would come on, I would just do the radio. Hey, everyone, this is that and da-da-da-da, and be on radio. You have an exit, so let me check this out, and I had gotten with some friends of mine who are in the broadcast business, and to this day, they're kind of mentoring me. I started working with another radio station and I love jazz. Everything just came into place, so to speak,
Right.
People just saw in me that I had the talent to do voiceovers. I never really thought about, doing voiceover work. People like my voice. So I just honed my craft and I'm still doing that to this day.
Yes, you are still doing that today, and you're good at it. What made you choose smooth jazz as opposed to some other genre?
Actually, I love all music. I like jazz, pop, R&B. I love jazz. Jazz, it soothes you. It heals you. It heals your soul. It has gotten me to, through a lot of different rough parts of my life, so to speak. And so that's why I kind of lean on jazz now. I really kind of got into jazz back when I was really young, when I was like 12 or 13. And I used to listen to all of my father's old jazz albums. Everything to me has just been a progression. Jazz has just been a part of my life. And that's where I'm kind of focusing my shows now, trying to put jazz back into the mainstream the way that it used to be back in the day.
Let's talk a little bit about your new show that's coming up on Detroit Hot Radio.
The show, I'm going to focus on aspects of jazz. There's classical jazz and there's fusion jazz, contemporary jazz. I'm going to, as time goes on, to delve into all of them. I want to kind of bring jazz back into the mainstream. And since so many different genres of jazz, I'll be able to explore a lot of those, with my listeners. The music that you hear is like what I feel. And I'll get up in the morning and I'll feel like an Art Tatum, or I feel like Jeff Lorber, who's a jazz fusion, or Kenny G, or, it depends upon my mood. And then once I start and I get into that flow, that's what you're going to hear on my show. People will tune in and they'll hear Sarah Vaughan is sexy old stuff today, It's going to be kind of, who I am and what I'm about and what my attitude is at this time.
So tell them, don't be stuck. You will be playing all kinds of jazz.
Right.
And your show is every Sunday night at 6 o'clock on Detroit Hot Radio.
And it's called .G Jazz.
Okay. So we need them to be listening for Doc G Jazz every Sunday night at 6 o'clock for Doc G Jazz on Detroit Hot Radio. And I'm in Florida. I'm listening to your show. So that means that people all over the country can listen to your show. I'm pretty excited about it.
tune in, and music has a way to make you feel good, and you'll hear songs that will make you reminisce.
Yes, absolutely. So let me ask you a question. You moved through several different phases of your life. Photography was something you love, and videography. When we talk about any type of business, what's some of the advice you would give to some of these young people who may be interested in following along your footsteps?
Well, I would say for them to follow their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let people dissuade you from doing what you want to do, taking your life in a direction that you feel that you want to do. You know, there are a lot of people who poison dreams, and I try to stay positive, and I try to be around positive people. If you can stay around and be around people who add positiveness to your life, you're able to go as far as you want to go. But you have to keep the naysayers away, the dream stealers. They feel good when they know that you're not really excelling in whatever that you want to do. I try to stay positive and try to just to be around positive people.
And that's absolutely critically important. Is there somebody out there that's in that field, in the photography field or in the videography field, or radio personalities that have influenced you in any way?
There have been radio personalities that I look up to now. I have a good friend of mine who used to work for WJZZ in Detroit, and his name is Gene Edwards. And Gene has been a great friend and mentor to me. He listens to my show. He gives me great pointers on what to do and how to do it. He has a great positive outlook. It's important to have someone like that in your life that can help you to excel with what you want to do in this business. Broadcasting is something that's very broad. It goes into so many different directions. You have to have people in your life that can help guide you through a lot of the nuances.
I can tell you, I can only imagine. I do this every week, so I know how you're feeling when you're on that radio. You go into a whole different world when you get to that broadcasting. You feel out-of-body experiences when you're on your radio show?
Yeah, I can get into a zone. You know, I tape and, I deliver the drops to, the different stations. I look at my playlist, my music list, and I go through, I say, oh yeah, this will go really great. I feel this. It's all about a feeling. You get it. And then you just hope that other people feel that, once you put it all together, put the shows together. That's when I talked to you earlier today, I was just into a show. I was doing one of my shows. I just finished it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think about some of the music you think you're going to play every week before or whenever you're doing your drops? Do you think about it, or do you just wait until you begin to choose music at that point? How do you choose your music?
Well, there are artists that I have in mind that I want to play just with me throughout the week or the day. Once I sit down and I have that music on my list and comes across on the computer, I'll just go to it. Yeah, this will work. And then I'll play a little bit of it. If it hits me, bam, okay, yeah, I want this. When I'm setting up my music, I try to set it up in a way that it'll transition from one song to another song. I don't want like two female voices, back to back. I try to put like an instrumental in between. You figure out a way to put it out there so that the listener can digest it. You establish a flow. It takes a little bit.
I was going to say, I'm sure it takes a special talent to be able to do that.
Yeah. My friend Gene, he has been doing it for over 30 or 40 years. And when he tells me, when he listens to my stuff, and he'll call me and he's excited. Oh, Dahyrl, that sounded great. Your production is tight. Music is wonderful.
Let me ask you this. Do you collaborate with other DJs, radio disc jockeys? I know you have that mentor, so I know you talk to him all the time, but do you work with some other DJs as well?
Yes, DJs and announcers, because they are different. A DJ, spins records, and I don't do that anymore. I'm more the announcing part of the broadcast. I do voiceovers, and then I collaborate with other people in doing that.
Okay. Well, I don't think I could do that, but hey, we all have our jobs, right? But I do love interviewing everybody to just kind of find out what you all are doing, because music is a universal language. There's no question about it. It crosses at everybody's, Black, white, Hispanic, doesn't matter. We can all come together on music. So that's great. Well, I tell you, what else would you like to tell me about your awesome career? Is there something else you'd like to share with our listeners?
I'm living in Houston, Texas right now. Mm-hmm. Come to Detroit so often, still have property here in Detroit. I still have some family here. My father is still in Detroit, and my daughters and my 5 of my grandkids are here. And I'm a family person. Family is what it's all about. My success was because of them.
Are there any of your children or grandchildren following in your footsteps?
Not yet. My grandson in Detroit used to like to tag around with me with my camera. He would be my legs and my arms for my photography work. Now he's into computers. He's found his path. This is what he wants to do. So I try to, help support him now in his endeavor. And my other grandkids, they're starting to come along as well. One of them, she's 13 and she wants to be an artist. And she draws and she designs and things of that nature. So, I just try to help support them now.
That's what we do as grandparents, right?
I think he's going to be like an IT tech type guy. He's really into that.
That's great. Can you tell us where your fans can find you and on what platforms?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay. And spell that name for them so that they'll know how to spell it.
D as in David, AHYRL.
What's the proper pronunciation since you've allowed me to say it wrong all night long?
You've been saying it the way people have been calling me for most of my life. It's pronounced Dahyrl Gooden.
Dahyrl Gooden. Well, I want to thank you for allowing me to interview you. You will be airing on Detroit Hot Radio every Sunday at 6 o'clock on Doc G Jazz. So we're asking everybody, tune in on Sundays and let's listen to Doc G Jazz. And this Thursday night, of course, we're going to be on Detroit Hot TV, Facebook. So you all tune in and let's listen to him, hear what he's talking about. But I want to thank you for allowing me this opportunity to interview you. It was great getting to know a little bit more about you. So now when I'm listening to your music, I know some other things about you.
I enjoyed the interview. Like I told you before, it's kind of different being in front of the camera instead of behind the camera. So.
Yeah, it is slightly different, but you're great. You're just great. So listen, you all, you can watch Where Are They Now every Thursday night on Detroit Hot TV, Facebook at 7:30. You can also catch me right here in Tampa Bay on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock on the Lit TV network on Roku. I have a show, it's called The Opening Statement. Well, for the last month or so, I've been talking politics because I am a politician. I will be also airing your show on my show here in the Tampa Bay area so that people will know who you are and they'll listen to Dr. G Smooth Jazz right here from Tampa Bay. Also, like and subscribe to my YouTube page, Dianne Hart. Hit the bell every time I put up a new video. You'll get an opportunity to see it. So thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
paying those bills, you better keep them and look the other way. All right? We fell in love way back in '83. I thought you was the one, boy. You swept me off my feet. The way I walk, you talk, and you asked to marry me. We began a life together, and you just spoiled me. But I knew something wasn't right. But since he paying my bills, I guess I'ma be alright. I know he's cheating, I know he cheat, but I don't really give a damn. No, I don't. I know he's cheating, I know he cheat, but I don't really give a damn. No, I don't. He came home late one night, ooh, smelling really sweet. He jumped in the shower, y'all, and jumped into the sheets. I rolled my back and turned, y'all, and went right off to sleep. Yeah, I really ain't got time for your lie. Well, I'm finna catch some sheep. Well, but I knew something wasn't right. But since he paying my bills, I guess I'ma be alright. I know he's cheating, I know he cheat, but I don't really give a damn. No, I don't. I know he's cheating, I know he cheat, but I don't really give a damn. No, I don't. I'm not gonna let him, I'm not gonna let him go, no. That's my man, and I love him for sure. I'm not gonna let him, I'm not gonna let him go, no. That's my man, and that's no joke. I'm not gonna let him, I'm not gonna let him go, no. He's my provider, and that's for sure. I'm not gonna let him, I'm not gonna let him go, no. I love my man, and that's no joke. I know he's cheating, I know he cheat, but I don't really give a damn. No, I don't. I know he's cheating, I know he cheat, but I don't really give a damn. No, no, I don't. I know he's cheating, he cheat on me, but I don't really give a damn. You have them all, he's cheating. Yes, I know he cheat, but I don't really give a damn. No, I don't, y'all. See, every time he go out that door, I know he's coming back, cause he's paying the bills. And I'm gonna sit back and wait on him, cause that's my man. I ain't gonna let nobody get him. See, so you better think about what you're doing. You better think about what you're saying. Let him come on back home, so you can do your thing, alright? And I know he gonna come back, alright?
It's a new day for Detroit radio. It's internet radio. Make sure you're streaming in your car. Terrestrial radio can't do what we do because we are setting a new standard in Detroit. The best Detroit artists are here, along with all your national favorites. The most music 24/7 by all your local favorites, like Anita Baker, Michael Henderson, Kim,
So how did you find your way back in
and the Dramatics. If they're from Detroit, they're heard here. This is where Detroit turns for R&B from yesterday and today.
24-karat magic in the air.
Detroit Hot Radio.
Hi, this is T. Pablo. Thanks for listening to DetroitHotRadio.com. We hope you enjoy DetroitHotRadio.com. We are dedicated to bringing you the best in talk and music programming. We are working very hard to bring you music and information you can use and enjoy. If you have any concerns, please drop us a line on Facebook, Detroit Hot Radio. We're on Facebook, Detroit Hot Radio on Facebook. Thank you for